Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is March the 4th. 2019. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Strong hand. Offended by selling. Be a unique beast. Unconfiscatable. Holder of last resort right here. World Reserve Crypto. That is Bitcoin. This is the One Bitcoin Show. Start by getting one Bitcoin, then two Bitcoin, then three, then 10, then 100. You know the spiel, baby. Okay, check out all the links below. Everything I talk about is linked to below. I wanted to say we were chatting. If you can, I post these shows about an hour before I go live. You can actually start chatting an hour beforehand, usually 50 minutes, whatever it is. And some guys were just chatting in the chat, and one dude, Taval Dacre, said, well, he said most, but I'm changing it to many people in the crypto space claim the US dollar is going to crash, but are still obsessed with its value compared to Bitcoin. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Yes, one Bitcoin does equal one Bitcoin, but Taval is absolutely correct. It is hilarious how there's so many, there are many people out there like, oh, the dollar's, it's going to get hyperinflated away, and then they're asking you, when's the Bitcoin market going to bottom in terms of dollars? What's your price prediction, Meister? What's your price prediction for tomorrow or next week or a year from now? What's your in fiat? How much is it going to be in fiat? But I don't care about fiat. It's it's going to be, it's going to get hyperinflated. But anyway, what's it worth in fiat, Adam? Come on, tell me. I need that hit, Adam. Tell me. That's the thing. It's so funny. Some people are so easily entertained. You just pull a number out of your backside and they worship you. And I don't do that here. So I just say one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. You can go worship a lot of people that'll just make up numbers and and then they'll say they have a magical computer that tells them the numbers too. It's going to be 8. Remember that guy with the magical computer? It's going to be 8888 on August 8th, 1988. I wouldn't even say the guy. We don't hear about the guy with the magical computer anymore. He was the conspiracy theory flavor of the month back, flavor of the few months back in 2017. He'll be back. The bot will be back, whatever that means. All right, so let's go to a guy who doesn't make predictions, doesn't pretend to have magical bots and magical future machines that say that aliens are going to land in Israel. Yeah, the guy who would make the predictions about the price of Bitcoin with his magical computer said that aliens, one of his predictions from 2010 that everyone forgets about, that aliens were going to land in Israel. All right, so and from space aliens, those type of aliens. It didn't. I mean, if you remember 2010, that didn't happen. So Andreas Antonopoulos, going back to the present here, we should not, one of the things that I say, and I'm actually going to talk about later in the video, you can't, the nonsense people, you can't waste time on the nonsense people. And I just wasted a lot of time on nonsense people. And, no one's perfect. I just wasted some time on that. Got to be in motion. And Andreas Antonopoulos is in motion. He's got a new video out there. And, it really gets good at the 9-minute mark. And he talks of how he dislikes stagnation and he wants a world of experimentation. So he doesn't have a problem with people forking off and doing altcoins. He'd much rather live in a world of experimentation than stagnation. And I've got to say, that's very true. If you don't like the way someone's experimenting, I mean, at least they're doing something. Just, you can complain, I guess, but then you're kind of stagnating by just complaining about them. And what do you want them to do? Do nothing? You want a bunch of people to do nothing? You want everything to stay the same? Do you want everything just to stay? Everything's perfect in cryptocurrency right now, so don't let anyone try anything new. Anyway, Andreas really puts it nicely in his talk. And then he talks about a duxless, the guy who wrote Brave New World, Huxley. And he describes how there are many people will gleefully opt into the social media credit score dystopia, the comfortable dystopia, as Doug Casey once put it. You know, there are a lot of people that like to get their dopamine hits from social media, and they won't mind being tracked. They won't mind the ease of use of Fed coins. And he basically says that at least people have a choice. The freedom is to opt into Bitcoin. And he almost describes my Bitcoin overlay theory that, you know what? 80% are going to do what they're going to do. They're going to, if they just want to live in a make-believe world where everything, you know, they're given free things and everything's easy and they can be, you know, they get their Fed coin and they get their Fed benefits, their free cell phones and whatever else come, you know, the tracking that will come with the Fed coin and that you can be turned off with the Fed coin. That's, if they like that comfortable dystopia, because it's comfortable, but it is a dystopia too when you're getting a social credit score because what seems to be going on, or probably will be going on in China pretty soon. But anyway, yeah, you don't have to. There'll be the choice. You can just get into Bitcoin. You won't be tracked. You won't be dependent on Fed coin. You don't have to be dependent on any Fed coin, anything that can be turned off. You can live in the real world, get whatever you want. And but yeah, it's pretty easy to stay in the social media dopamine hit world. And if, you know, Facebook coin comes out, they'll make it even easier. And you'll even get a lot of free things, a lot of benefits, and you'll get that dopamine hit sometimes, but you'll get that dopamine low also. This is beginning to sound like one of my Saturday shows. But check out the link below to watch Andreas's video. You know, Bitcoin does give us the choice to not be in the social credit score Fed coin world. Pound that like button. And yeah, there's blissful ignorance, I guess that is. They're the people will be, yeah, I don't want to hear about Bitcoin. I'm happy the way things are. You know, whatever Bitcoin is, Fed coin, getting my dopamine hits, getting my free stuff. Yeah, my life's fine. Whatever. Everything's taking care of me. The government's taking care of me. Yeah, great. Yep, that's the culture, because personal responsibility is the counterculture, and that's Bitcoin. And again, you know, people, they'll be Bitcoin, and then they'll be, your world is being tracked. And but a lot of people will stay in the regular world. The dollar will exist. That, you know, for all of what we were talking about beforehand, people saying the dollar was going to disappear, yet they're the same people that care about their value of their Bitcoin in dollars. On the other hand, you have me that says, no, the dollar is going to survive. It'll be a tracking device, and it'll be a way. The welfare dollar isn't going anywhere because there's more and more welfare coming out. And but I don't care. I value my wealth in Bitcoin. So I'm not worried about what Bitcoin's worth in dollars tomorrow at all. No, not at all. Because I'm just trying to get more Bitcoin. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be part of the mainstream culture. I want to be part of the counterculture. Personal responsibility. Okay. So with all of that in mind, that, you know, there's going to be a dystopian world out there for those who want to stick around in it and get their social credit score. You know, that's pretty harsh. But I mean, you go out there and you tell people what the options are. Bitcoin is freedom, and what a lot of people do is they understand that Bitcoin is freedom, and then everything else they want to go to war against. Okay, they want to go to war against Litecoin. They want to go. I mean, why go? It's like a hysterical. Again, this is commenting on what I see over social media, but people can get really hysterical about other coins, other projects, other thoughts about Bitcoin, and just go to war on people. And even people promoting altcoins try to go to war against other altcoins. Really bad idea. Really bad idea. It's not positive. You're not being productive. You're not making any friends. I mean, if you're trying to promote an altcoin and you're ripping on other altcoins, you need as many allies as possible. So yeah, a lot of people have the go to war mentality over everything. And no, it's not a good way to live your life. It's not, and maybe some people are just, you know, putting up a front on social media. That's just their social media personality. Again, I don't think it's productive. I don't think it's healthy, because if that's your front, then who are you behind that front? I mean, if you got to go around with all this bluster on social media, but you don't really mean it, then what's that mean? But yeah, don't go to war over everything, dudes. Seriously. There are serious issues, and you can debate about them. You can try to convince people, but there's sometimes these hysterical, I call them hysterical wars. Don't go to hysterical war, man. Okay. And a lot of people do. So now going back to what I said about blissful ignorance, it's good when you don't know about some of the drama that's going on. When you're ignorant of the drama, that's good. That's good right there. That's good. If you don't know about, if you're able to avoid sources of crypto noise, that is great. To be ignorant of that. That's not ignorant. You just have no idea about it. That's great. All right. So Gab. The Gab, and I mentioned Gab before, which is kind of like a Facebook competitor, Twitter competitor, social media competitor, and how the guy behind it is a big fan of Bitcoin. They tweeted out Bitcoin things before. And I skipped this. I'm going to have to go back to this. But they've come out with something called Dissenter.com. And I think this is a really cool tool. And I linked to an article about it. I actually linked to Dissenter.com. I haven't signed up for it yet, but Gab Dissenter lets you comment on any website. Dissenter.com, which launched February 26th, allows users to leave comments on any internet URL. Unlike Reddit, it has a decentralized structure, so it's pretty cool. It's like let's say a CNN.com doesn't let you comment. They don't have a comment section anymore. You type CNN.com into Dissenter.com, and you can see everybody leaving comments on the CNN articles. Try it out. There's a video linked to below in that article that shows you this. And I think this really might get a lot of people have joined. You can only use Dissenter.com if you're a member of Gab. So a lot of people have joined Gab since then. And people have suggested that somehow Lightning Network gets incorporated into this Dissenter.com. Again, I haven't tried it out yet, but I think seems like a really cool tool. And it will get more people in the Gab.com. And Gab.com is a huge fan of Bitcoin. So more people will find out about Bitcoin if all goes well. And we shall see. So check it out. Tell me what you think, if you've used it, if you've heard about it. And it should, even on this, you'll be able to type this video in. And even if you can leave comments in the comment section below, but you'll be able to leave comments on the Dissenter commentary on this video. So what I forgot, but what I mentioned yesterday, and again, this is why you should watch this show, is you get some scoops here, or at least you get news here that you don't get at the regular places. There's some people that just read off the main articles on CoinDesk and they comment or whatever, and that's their prerogative. I like to read what's going on Twitter and come up with my own stories and find out some unique stories like the Dissenter thing. And again, someone did write about it. But like I said yesterday, I mentioned this. The Lightning Network Trust Chain torch has been passed from Iran to Israel. And so I said yesterday when I was at after I was at the Bitcoin Embassy in Tel Aviv, I did the show, and I said I heard that someone from Iran had sent the Lightning Network Trust chain to an Iranian outside of Iran to send to the Tel Aviv Bitcoin Embassy. And we were waiting for it. Sarah, who was on the show on This Week in Bitcoin, those familiar with the show, she was waiting for it to arrive. So I knew it was going to arrive, but I wasn't sure. And so it did, and they got it. So that's pretty cool. And I said that would be a good because Iran and Israel on the governmental levels are enemies, but it can show you that the people within the countries can work together and can like each other. The Iranians sending stuff from Israel said nice things, which puts their lives at risk, I believe. And again, he couldn't directly send it from Iran to Israel, I guess for fear. But it also shows you that the Bitcoin is borderless. It really is. It is borderless. And I hope other people write about it. I hope other people talk about it. And it was retweeted today by a few people. I retweeted it. Follow me at TechBalt on Twitter, TechBalt, so you can see what I retweeted. Or it's linked to below. You can retweet all that stuff. So yeah, that's very interesting for Lightning Network, and I hope more people find out about Lightning Network because of that little experiment. And where will the Bitcoin embassy send it next? We shall see, won't we? We shall see. Again, Tel Aviv Bitcoin embassy, great place here in Tel Aviv. I'm here in Tel Aviv until next Tuesday. Oh man, then I'll be in Los Angeles for 2 weeks, then in Baltimore for all of April. And a little bit of May for a high school reunion. Pound that like button. Anyway, and when I go to my high school reunion, I'm just wearing a Bitcoin t-shirt. That is what I'm wearing. I don't. My high school class we're cool. A lot of us are still friends, so we talk not as much as we used to, but no one tries to impress with like fancy clothes or a new car or anything like that. But I'm coming really dressed down. I got to wear the Bitcoin t-shirt. I got it. So people, so they know, and some of my friends already know, but I want some of the people I haven't talked to in 5 years to find out about it too. And you always got to be talking Bitcoin, baby. I am, at least. I'm a Bitcoin marketing machine. Pound that like button. Okay, so Must Stop Murad. He has a tweet out here. What is this? Oh, this is a very interesting one. And Murad's been on the show. Yeah, I really, all these people that I talk about have been on the show. Sarah's been on the show. We're going to talk about Udi in a second. Murad, obviously, Caitlyn Long was on the show. I'll talk about her later. Well, I'm just giving you sneak previews. By the way, yeah, yesterday there was a 4-minute break on the show. And I'm going to, what I talked about during the 4 minutes that didn't air yesterday, I'm going to talk about soon. But let's say, God, I hope you're playing this at 2x because I'm rambling now. So Bitcoin gives the 99% a money which allows them to preserve the fruits of their labor and makes the Cantillon Effects manufactured by the 1% obsolete. Bitcoin gives the 1% an asset completely inaccessible to seizure by potential uprising by the 99%. Demand will come from both. Okay, dude. Okay, now I agree. You're theoretically correct on that. Okay, that first of all, the Cantillon effect is when the government prints money, and those at the top of the food chain, the 1%, who get the money first, they benefit the most. There's not really an inflationary effect. It messes up the people who eventually get the new money, okay? Because then the system has already started to figure out there's more money in the system, thus it doesn't buy you it as much, okay? But I got to tell you something, Murad. You can't explain that to most people in the 99%. They're not. In fact, I would say the bottom 50% would be like, just print more dollars. I don't care. So you can get me free stuff. Just print more dollars so the government can get me free stuff. I don't care if the dollars are worth less by the time they get to me. I don't care. I don't care if the rich get rich because you print more dollars, as long as you get me more free stuff. So yeah, I don't think those people will be very interested in Bitcoin anyway, because they just want free stuff. Now again, you're theoretically right. Now, the point I thought that was really good was that the 1%, and again, I don't vilify the 1% at all. Again, if all things go right, for those of you who are fiat freaks, a lot of us with Bitcoin are going to be in the 1% in terms of our net worth. We'll be in the 1%. And I'm not saying tomorrow. Obviously, I don't do these days. But yeah, in the 2020s, yeah, it's looking like a lot of Bitcoin holders will be part of the 1%. But here is what he said is Bitcoin gives the 1% an asset completely inaccessible to seizure by a potential uprising of the 99%. Now, by the way, such an uprising would not come from the 99%. It would come from like the bottom 20% or who knows. But the point is that that these 1%ers are smart people, okay? They are going to think, they're going to be like, now, wait a second here. What Murad just said, there's a lot of crazy talk here in America these days. All these people talking about wealth taxes and redistribution. I don't want people to take my wealth in some riotous mad attack upon my house, I better get into this Bitcoin thing. So I think what Murad just said, it'll wake the 1%, many more people in the 1%, and probably the top 20% will take those words seriously than in the bottom 80%. Oh, look, there's that 80%er thing again. The 80%ers, they're not going to care about the Cantillon effect, okay? They don't. Most of them won't, at least. Some will understand it. Some will understand it, obviously. But I think it's much easier to understand people, a riotous mob coming for your money than the Cantillon effect or whatever it's called. All right. Moving on, and you can check out his tweet below. It's good, though. It's good. He's a good thinking man. Udi will be on This Week in Bitcoin on Friday, 3:40 in Israel, and that is 8:40 a.m. in New York, 1:40. I don't know what time it's going to be in London. Do they have daylight savings? No. Yeah. London will be at 1:40 p.m. But anyway, this is from Udi. It's about Monero. I don't know if this has been corrected yet, but I got to read it anyway. Apparently, some bug has been found related to the latest Manero version 0.14 and Ledger. Okay, details still being investigated, but seems like spending Monero stored on a ledger can cause massive loss of funds. If you have Monero on a ledger, do nothing and wait. That is great advice. You know, that's not just great advice for this situation, but it's usually great advice for every situation in crypto. And do nothing. Do nothing with your Bitcoin. Just hold it. Hold your Bitcoin. Hold your Monero. But you got to think things out. So whenever there's an emergency, whenever there's something doesn't seem right, just stick it out. Don't move it. Don't panic. Now, again, if you control your private key, that is. Now, if you already have done something by putting your cryptocurrency on a third party, and something goes wrong with that third party, then you probably do have to do something at that point. But again, the do nothing principle, the hold principle, it's with the strong hands. It's with the people who already control their private key. So that's always good advice when you control your private key. Do nothing. And yeah, even though there might be some problem with Ledger and Monero, if you got that, if your Monero is on your Ledger and you control you're fine. If you do nothing. Marty Bent, the latest episode of what's his show called? Is out with Jack Dorsey. It is live now. We discuss everything from how Jack came to find and experiment with Bitcoin, the parallels between early Twitter and Bitcoin, Bitcoin's effect on the state, and much more. And it's linked to below, guys. I haven't had time to listen to it, but listen to it. That's another. Again, I'm not putting Jack Dorsey on a pedestal, but it's apparently a good interview. I like Marty Bent. Hopefully, Marty will be back on the show on This Week in Bitcoin very show soon. Best guest in the space on this freaking This Week in Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm talking about in the space. Sure, Jack Dorsey is a big guy, but is he really in the space like Murad is, like Caitlyn is, like Marty Bent is? It's a little different. He's beyond the space. Hey, man, again, I hope that I hope Jack Dorsey does a lot with Bitcoin on Twitter. And but again, there are a lot of people think the way he runs Twitter is opposite of the way that of the Bitcoin principles, at least. Won't get into that now. Here we go. Cryptopia has an update. Although this is from a few hours ago. We are aiming to keep the site live. Aiming to get the site live today. However, we had a slight delay and are aiming to have the site live tomorrow. Again, they're in New Zealand, so who knows what time it is there. We will keep you updated as this progresses. Okay, I'll believe it when I see it. And again, there are people that are just so enthused that Cryptopia will be back, even though they lost 9.4% of their funds somehow. All right. So here's the stuff that got cut out of Sunday. There was an article in CoinDesk, and again, I don't care about the CoinDesk article. I didn't even read it. It said these 4 cryptos outperformed the market in February, and they were these 4 random, like 6-tier altcoins or something. And my point in mentioning this is that it's gambling. How can you know? How can you pick what 6-tier altcoins are going to outperform the market? Why even mess with that stuff? And then you got CoinDesk glorifying it again, but it's personal responsibility. Let CoinDesk is appealing to the mass market that want to hear about some coin that's going to become the next Bitcoin. Again, you should know better than that. You should know better that Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin, but many people don't. So let them experiment with 6-tier altcoins, try to guess which ones are going to beat the market in March, and let them have it. But it's gambling. It's gambling, and I'm just saying it like it is. It's gambling. But hey, if you want to gamble, go gamble. Go to Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. Oops, no more Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. But go to Las Vegas. Go to Las Vegas. I remember the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. To tell you the truth, I as a kid, I can remember seeing the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. Definitely, and Trump Castle in Atlantic City, all sorts of things. My father, I guess he gambled at Trump Plaza, and he saved. You used to actually put like little tokens in the slot machines, and at my parents' house, there's a Trump. You can buy on eBay. It says Trump. It's like a coin, Trump Plaza on it. Anyway, okay, I've just gone off on East Coast gambling memories, right? For anyone, now most people don't remember. And again, I was a kid when the only places you could gamble were like Atlantic City and Las Vegas. Anyway, and you got never mind. No Baltimore stories. God, my grandmother and grandfather went to their honeymoon into Atlantic City. That was way before. Way before there was gambling. It was a luxury in the 40s. It was like a luxurious place, Atlantic City. Luxury, but then it went down the tube. They thought gambling would save it. You should see what gambling did to it. Very lovely place. It's resembles Baltimore in many parts of Atlantic City. So sorry about that. I hope you're fast forwarding through this part of the show. So this was cut from Sunday's show. And by the way, today it would have been my grandfather's 98th birthday of blessed memory. So, what do we have here? Oh, yeah. So I was talking about the don't gamble. That's what I was saying. Don't gamble. Don't gamble. Don't smoke either. My father did, and my grandfather did, and yeah. So, oh, good. Let's continue. Must stop. Oh, yeah. The other thing I wanted to say about altcoins. The other thing I wanted to say about altcoins. Hey, it's personal responsibility. It's the new counterculture. Maybe if you smoke, you will survive. Maybe. Maybe if you gamble, you will win. Bitcoin, strong hand. That's not gambling, baby. It's not gambling. And it's not smoking. But it's smoking hot. All right. So yeah, I got a message from someone outside the United States in a developing country. And I checked out the dude's Twitter feed, and he's talking about 6-tier altcoins again. And it reminded me, like, dude, we are so early in on all this. We got CoinDesk talking about 6-tier altcoins, how to beat the market. We got dudes from third world countries wondering about 6-tier altcoins. There are so many foreigners, non-Westerners, that are going to get into cryptocurrency that aren't into it yet. And they will pump the altcoins like mad again. So if you thought 2017 was like the .com bubble of altcoins, you haven't seen anything yet. I have said that before, but when I see things like that on CoinDesk, when I get messages from people in the third world like I did and see what they're talking about, I know that we are going to see such an altcoin massive pump. And that's not me saying, oh, go buy altcoins. Oh, no. God forbid I say a thing like that. I'm just telling you, be aware. And that when the altcoins do pump again, and some of them are pumping more than Bitcoin, that you have a strong hand on your Bitcoin and you don't go crazy and gamble on those altcoins when they're looking really tasty. Now, if you happen to have some altcoins laying around and they start pumping, well, then trade them in for some Bitcoin, baby. That'll be great when all the, and again, I mean, you can scream on the mountain like I am right now saying, Bitcoin is the one. Bitcoin, one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. These altcoins, they're not the same thing. You have no idea which ones are going to survive, but people are going to do what they're going to do. They're going to do what they're going to do. I'm not going to go to war against altcoins. Some of them produce some innovations, I guess. So, but I mean, I'm telling you about human nature here. People like to gamble. People want to be in the next Bitcoin, and it will go wild again. I don't know what year. It'll be in the 2020s. But yeah, we haven't seen the dot-com bubble yet in altcoins. There'll be a bigger one in 2017. They'll be talking, oh God, what's that one? IOTA again. Who knows? There'll be ones we can't even imagine. So yeah, if you're going to make a new one, fork it all off of Bitcoin or airdrop it on the Bitcoin. Give us some crypto dividends so we can turn them into Bitcoin and you can experiment or do whatever you want to do. And we got two more things here. Two more things. Bear with me. Bear with me here. Oh yeah. I think that's, two more things. So, and Mustap Murad also had this tweet. Bitcoin won't have mainstream saver adoption until it has, what is this? Until it has reached mainstream speculator adoption. So, that's a very good point. First, the mainstream speculators have to really get into Bitcoin before mainstream savers are going to get into it. And he actually creates a list in the order of adoption here. It's very interesting. It's linked to below. So first we had mainstream cypherpunk adoption. I think we can say that pretty much happened because there's not that many of those dudes. Mainstream geek adoption comes next. Has mainstream geek adoption? Everyone's telling me that everybody in Silicon Valley has Bitcoin. So maybe we have mainstream geek adoption. I don't know. Then comes mainstream speculator adoption. We've clearly not had that yet. There's all the people that are speculating on all sorts of different financial instruments out there. They're not into Bitcoin yet. Some are into it, but not the mainstream speculators. Then mainstream fund adoption, mainstream HNWI adoption, high net worth individual adoption. Then mainstream SWF adoption. What's SWF? And mainstream saver adoption, mainstream merchant adoption, mainstream consumer adoption, and then finally mainstream government adoption. I don't know. Mainstream government adoption could come before mainstream consumer adoption. I don't know. Yeah, that last part. Well, whatever. We could get into an argument about that, but it doesn't matter. Check out that link below. Finally, Caitlyn Long. What do Wyoming's blockchain laws really mean? Here's my analysis of how all the puzzle pieces fit together. Everyone in blockchain may want to see it. Once you see that what Wyoming has created, I think it might blow you away. All right, so she explains some of the stuff she talked about on my show, actually, with Wyoming, but in written form. So check out that link. I think it was at Forbes, but it's linked to below. All right, everybody. It was funny. You saw me struggling to read a few things. My screen on this laptop is so filthy. I can't. Dude, I really got to clean this thing. I don't know how. I'm eating, because again, I'm eating when I'm at this, and I'm always watching I'm listening to videos, but at the same time, dragging food across things, getting splashed away. And you hear the truth here for the Bitcoin Meister. Pound that like button, man. I've got conviction. This is the real deal, Adam Meister. This is who you meet in person, the same guy that you see on this video right now. Okay, everybody. Thanks a lot for bearing with me watching this video today. I think it was too long, but whatever. I played at 2x. Played at 3 freaking X. Pound that like button. Bang that bell button. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister. Click on those squares on my old shows. Check all that out. DisruptMeister.com, TechBalt.com. And it's great to be freaking alive, isn't it? I'll say hi to you guys in the chat. Bye.